It's time for Disturbing Movie Recap. If you're too afraid to watch a movie, I got you. Today we got the 1997 Austrian classic, Funny Games. So the film opens up and we meet George, his wife Anna, their son Georgie, and their dog, and they're on the way to the lake to visit their vacation home. So they get to their neighborhood and they stop by their neighbor's house to say hi and just to ask for help with their boat, but their neighbors Fred and Eva are acting weird. Now, Fred and Eva have a little girl, a daughter, but George and Anna don't see her. Instead, they see these two random boys. So after this, George and Anna head to their home and start getting settled in. So then Fred comes over and he introduces one of the boys, Paul, to George. Now, meanwhile, Anna's in the kitchen minding her own business when the other boy, Peter, approaches her and is like, hey, your neighbor Eva needs to borrow some eggs. She's a nice neighbor, so she's like, sure, of course. She gives Peter some eggs, but on his way out, he drops them. She gives him more eggs, it's like, yo, be careful, but he drops them again. Anna ain't feeling it and she knows something's up. He has the audacity to ask Anna for some more eggs, but during this conversation, he knocks Anna's phone in a sink full of water. Then all of a sudden, Paul arrives. Now there's something off about Peter and Paul, okay? They're trying to act innocent, but we know they're up to something. Now they're in their house taking golf clubs and Anna wants them out. So the husband George is outside and he hears the dog crying, okay? He runs home, sees the situation his wife is in, and tries to help get the two boys out the house. It's at this moment that Peter takes a golf club, swings, and breaks one of George's legs. Anna is distraught, so she runs outside, she goes to the car, she opens the car door and finds that the dog is unresponsive. So outside we see other neighbors approaching, but Paul forces Anna to act normal, act fine, and he invites these neighbors over for dinner. They're being held hostage, okay? They can't go nowhere, and Peter and Paul find this funny. That's because this is a sick game they like to play, and they place a bet that the family won't be alive in the morning, okay? They've been doing this to all the neighbors. They're terrorizing the family. There's a pillowcase over the son's head, and they're telling the husband that he better tell his wife to take off her clothes. Now during this, the son Georgie is able to escape, but Paul is right behind him. Georgie goes to the neighbor's house, but he finds the body of their daughter. Paul manages to get Georgie back to the house. Meanwhile, Peter's been sitting there with his parents, terrorizing them still. Peter and Paul find this funny, okay? They're having a blast. Paul's in the kitchen making sandwiches, Peter's terrorizing the family, but Georgie can't take it, so he runs again. The next scene shows us that Georgie didn't survive, and Anna and George are distraught, and now they're determined to survive. Paul gets mad at Peter for shooting Georgie, and they briefly leave. Anna runs outside, she waves down a car, but it's Peter and Paul. They capture Anna, they take her back to the house, and they begin to play another game, but Anna grabs the gun, takes it, and shoots Peter. Well, we thought that happened. No, Paul has a remote, and he hits rewind. Rewind, it never happened, Peter's alive again. The movie ends with Peter and Paul taking out George and Anna, and them approaching a new neighbor to terrorize.